Welcome to English Fluency Focus, the podcast dedicated to advancing intermediate English learners toward professional level fluency through compelling narratives that showcase adaptability, innovation, and excellence in dynamic global environments. I'm your host, Dr. Michael Chen, and today we're exploring 4 remarkable stories that demonstrate how professionals navigate uncertainty, embrace change, and create value through strategic thinking and adaptive leadership. This episode, Adaptation and Excellence, examines how individuals leverage their skills and knowledge to address emerging challenges while building sustainable solutions that benefit multiple stakeholders. Each narrative has been strategically designed to challenge B1 and B2 level learners with sophisticated vocabulary, complex problem-solving scenarios, and nuanced professional contexts that reflect contemporary workplace demands. Today's stories will engage you with the specialized language of organizational psychology, crisis management, technological innovation, and strategic communication. You'll encounter advanced analytical discourse, sophisticated decision-making frameworks, and the kind of persuasive communication essential for leadership roles in competitive international environments. We'll meet Dr. Sarah Martinez, an organizational psychologist whose remote work expertise helps companies optimize distributed team performance during the digital transformation era. We'll follow James Robertson, an emergency management coordinator whose crisis response protocols prove crucial during a natural disaster that tests community resilience. We'll observe Nina Petrov, a biotechnology researcher whose innovative vaccine development process accelerates global health initiatives while navigating complex regulatory requirements. Finally, we'll join Alexander Kim, a sustainable agriculture consultant whose precision farming techniques revolutionizes food production while addressing climate change challenges. Each narrative incorporates sophisticated professional dynamics, requiring you to understand complex stakeholder relationships, decode strategic decision-making processes, and appreciate the analytical frameworks that inform executive leadership in global organizations. These comprehension skills prove essential for excelling in international business environments, contributing to graduate-level academic discussions, and building meaningful professional networks across cultural boundaries. Dr. Sarah Martinez had specialized in organizational psychology for 8 years when the global shift to remote work created unprecedented demand for her expertise in optimizing distributed team performance, employee engagement, and digital collaboration strategies. What initially appeared to be a temporary response to global health concerns evolved into a fundamental transformation of workplace culture that required entirely new frameworks for human resource management and organizational effectiveness. The challenge emerged when Global Tech Corporation, a software development company with 1,200 employees across 4 continents, experienced significant productivity declines and employee satisfaction issues after transitioning to mandatory remote work. Despite investing in advanced communication technologies and project management platforms, the company struggled with team coordination, cultural integration, and maintaining innovation levels that had previously characterized their collaborative office environment. Sarah's initial assessment revealed that the productivity challenges extended beyond technical infrastructure to encompass psychological and social factors that traditional remote work solutions had failed to address. Employees reported feeling isolated, experiencing communication fatigue, and struggling to maintain work-life boundaries when their homes became their offices. The complexity deepened when Sarah discovered that remote work effectiveness varied dramatically across different cultural contexts, personality types, and job functions. While some employees thrived in autonomous environments that enabled deep focus work, others struggled without the spontaneous interactions and collaborative energy that had defined their previous office-based productivity patterns. Sarah's breakthrough insight involved recognizing that effective remote work required not simply replicating office processes through digital tools, but rather redesigning work structures to leverage the unique advantages of distributed collaboration while mitigating its inherent challenges. Her comprehensive solution incorporated multiple evidence-based interventions, structured virtual interaction protocols that preserved spontaneous collaboration opportunities, flexible scheduling frameworks that accommodated different cultural time preferences and personal productivity rhythms, and hybrid communication strategies that balanced synchronous and asynchronous work modes based on task requirements and team composition. The most innovative aspect of Sarah's approach involved developing psychological safety metrics that could measure team cohesion, trust levels, and creative confidence in virtual environments. These assessments enabled managers to identify team dynamics issues before they impacted productivity and provided data-driven insights for improving remote collaboration effectiveness. Implementation required Sarah to coordinate with multiple organizational functions. Human resources teams needed training in virtual employee engagement techniques, middle managers required coaching in remote leadership strategies, and information technology departments needed guidance on optimizing digital collaboration platforms for psychological as well as technical performance. Sarah's methodology also addressed the challenge of maintaining organizational culture and knowledge transfer in distributed environments. She developed virtual mentorship programs, cross-functional project rotations, and digital innovation sessions that preserved the informal learning and relationship-building opportunities that had previously occurred through physical proximity. The breakthrough came when Sarah's data analysis revealed that teams following her structured flexibility protocols achieved 23% higher productivity scores and 31% better employee satisfaction ratings compared to control groups using traditional remote work approaches. Global Tech's remote work transformation attracted attention from human resources professionals worldwide who recognized the potential for Sarah's frameworks to address similar organizational challenges. She began consulting with companies across multiple industries, adapting her methodologies to accommodate different organizational cultures, regulatory environments, and workforce demographics. Within 2 years, Sarah's remote work optimization practice had expanded internationally, serving over 50 organizations and training hundreds of managers in distributed team leadership. Her research contributions influenced academic discussions about the future of work and established new standards for remote workforce management. Sarah's experience demonstrated that organizational psychology expertise could drive fundamental workplace innovations when applied to emerging challenges that traditional business practices weren't equipped to address. Her success illustrated how professional adaptation and evidence-based problem-solving could create competitive advantages during periods of significant organizational transformation. James Robertson had coordinated emergency response operations for municipal governments for 6 years when Hurricane Elena, a Category 4 storm, tested every aspect of his crisis management expertise while revealing both the strengths and limitations of existing disaster preparedness protocols. The hurricane's unprecedented intensity and duration required adaptive leadership that balanced immediate public safety needs with long-term community recovery planning. The challenge began 5 days before Elena's projected landfall, when meteorological forecasts indicated that the storm would likely cause catastrophic flooding, prolonged power outages, and infrastructure damage exceeding the community's previous disaster experience. James's emergency management team faced the complex task of coordinating evacuations, resource allocation, and interagency communications under conditions of significant uncertainty and time pressure. James's initial response protocol involved activating the Emergency Operations Center, establishing communication networks with federal and state agencies, and implementing evacuation procedures for high-risk coastal and flood-prone areas. However, the storm's rapidly changing trajectory and intensifying strength required constant adaptation of emergency plans that had been developed for less severe scenarios. The coordination challenge intensified when James discovered that traditional evacuation routes were inadequate for the projected storm surge levels, requiring real-time rerouting of evacuation traffic while maintaining communication with transportation authorities, law enforcement, and medical facilities. The complexity of managing multiple simultaneous operations under extreme time pressure tested every aspect of his crisis leadership capabilities. James's breakthrough innovation involved implementing dynamic resource allocation protocols that could redistribute emergency assets based on real-time conditions rather than predetermined deployment plans. This flexible approach enabled rapid response to emerging needs while maintaining strategic reserves for unforeseen complications. The most critical phase occurred during the storm's 18-hour passage, when James coordinated rescue operations, medical evacuations, and infrastructure protection efforts while maintaining public communication through multiple channels despite widespread power and communication failures. His team's ability to adapt tactical responses to evolving conditions proved crucial for minimizing casualties and maintaining public confidence. Post-storm recovery operations required James to transition from immediate emergency response to long-term community rebuilding coordination. This phase involved working with federal disaster relief agencies, insurance companies, and reconstruction contractors while addressing the psychological and economic trauma affecting community members. James's comprehensive approach to disaster management demonstrated that effective crisis leadership required not only technical emergency response skills, but also adaptive communication, strategic resource management, and the ability to maintain community resilience during extended periods of uncertainty and recovery. His documentation of lessons learned from Hurricane Elena influenced regional disaster preparedness standards and established new protocols for interagency coordination during major natural disasters. James's expertise became sought after by communities seeking to improve their emergency management capabilities. Dr. Nina Petrov had dedicated 10 years to vaccine development research when a global health emergency created urgent demand for her expertise in accelerated immunization technology, requiring her to navigate complex regulatory pathways while maintaining rigorous safety standards and coordinating with international health organizations to address unprecedented public health challenges. The crisis emerged when a novel infectious disease threatened global populations, creating pressure for rapid vaccine development that typically required 5 to 10 years of research and testing. Nina's research team at BioAdvance Laboratories possessed promising vaccine platform technology, but translating laboratory innovations into safe, effective immunizations required overcoming significant scientific, regulatory, and manufacturing challenges. Nina's initial approach involved adapting existing vaccine development protocols to accelerate timeline without compromising safety evaluation processes. This required innovative clinical trial designs that could generate robust safety and efficacy data within compressed timeframes, while maintaining ethical standards for human research participants. The regulatory complexity intensified when Nina discovered that different countries had varying approval requirements, safety thresholds, and testing protocols that could potentially delay global vaccine distribution. Coordinating with multiple regulatory agencies required diplomatic communication skills and deep understanding of international health governance frameworks. Nina's breakthrough innovation involved developing modular vaccine production processes that could be rapidly scaled and adapted for manufacturing in different countries with varying technological capabilities. This approach enabled global vaccine access while maintaining quality control standards across diverse production environments. The most challenging aspect involved balancing speed requirements with thorough safety evaluation, particularly when early clinical trial data suggested potential side effects that required additional investigation. Nina's team implemented enhanced monitoring protocols that could detect safety signals earlier while maintaining accelerated development timelines. International collaboration became crucial when Nina realized that global vaccine distribution required coordination with health organizations, government agencies, and pharmaceutical companies across multiple continents. Her ability to communicate complex scientific information to diverse stakeholder groups proved essential for securing support and resources. Nina's comprehensive vaccine development project ultimately produced safe, effective immunizations that were distributed globally within 18 months of initial development, representing a significant acceleration of traditional vaccine development processes while maintaining rigorous safety standards. Her innovative approach influenced international vaccine development protocols and demonstrated how scientific expertise, regulatory knowledge, and stakeholder coordination can address global health challenges through rapid yet responsible innovation processes. Alexander Kim had developed expertise in sustainable agricultural technologies when climate change pressures and global food security challenges required innovative farming approaches that could increase crop yields while reducing environmental impact. His precision agriculture consultancy focused on implementing data-driven farming techniques that optimized resource utilization and enhanced agricultural sustainability. The challenge involved helping traditional farming operations adopt sophisticated technologies, including GPS-guided machinery, soil sensors, satellite imaging, and predictive analytics that could monitor crop health, optimize irrigation, and minimize pesticide usage while maintaining profitable production levels. Alexander's breakthrough approach involved developing integrated farming systems that combined traditional agricultural knowledge with cutting-edge technology applications. His methodology enabled farmers to make data-informed decisions about planting, irrigation, fertilization, and harvesting that improved both environmental and economic outcomes. Implementation required Alexander to coordinate with agricultural equipment manufacturers, software developers, and financing institutions to create accessible technology adoption pathways for farming operations of various sizes and economic capabilities. His precision agriculture innovations achieved remarkable results. Participating farms reduced water consumption by 32%, decreased pesticide usage by 28%, and increased crop yields by 19%, while improving soil health metrics and reducing greenhouse gas emissions. Alexander's work influenced agricultural policy discussions and demonstrated how technological innovation could address food security challenges while promoting environmental sustainability through strategic application of data science and precision farming techniques. Key vocabulary and expressions: precision agriculture, farming that uses technology to be more accurate and efficient. Food security challenges, problems with having enough food for everyone. Data-driven farming techniques, agricultural methods based on information and statistics. Resource utilization, efficient use of water, soil, seeds, and other farming inputs. GPS-guided machinery, farm equipment controlled by satellite navigation. Predictive analytics, using data to forecast what will happen. Integrated farming systems, combined approaches that work together. Data-informed decisions, choices based on facts and statistics. Technology adoption pathways, ways for people to start using new tools. Greenhouse gas emissions, gases released that contribute to climate change. Today's narratives have demonstrated how adaptability and excellence enable professionals to create transformative solutions during periods of significant change and uncertainty. Through Sarah's remote work innovations, James's crisis management leadership, Nina's vaccine development expertise, and Alexander's agricultural technology integration, we've explored how professional expertise combined with adaptive thinking drives organizational and societal progress. These stories showcase the sophisticated English proficiency required for leadership roles in rapidly evolving professional environments. Each narrative employed advanced vocabulary that enables precise discussion of complex challenges and innovative solutions, intricate analytical frameworks, and the kind of strategic communication essential for coordinating diverse stakeholder groups during periods of change. The linguistic complexity evident throughout these stories reflects the communication demands facing professionals who must analyze complex problems, develop innovative solutions, and coordinate implementation across organizational and cultural boundaries. Notice how each protagonist's success required not only technical expertise, but also advanced communication abilities, strategic thinking skills, and cultural sensitivity. For continued advancement toward advanced proficiency, focus on analyzing how sophisticated English enables nuanced discussion of adaptation strategies and innovation processes. Practice articulating complex professional challenges using analytical vocabulary and strategic frameworks, and develop sensitivity to the cultural and organizational contexts that inform decision-making in global professional environments. These narratives remind us that professional excellence in dynamic environments requires mastery of both adaptive thinking and sophisticated communication, enabling meaningful contribution to the innovation processes that drive organizational success in our interconnected world. Thank you for joining English Fluency Focus. Continue developing your adaptive communication capabilities through engagement with complex professional scenarios that prepare you for leadership roles in dynamic global organizations.